Good morning!
Yeah, so today's weekly tea, it's a little bit different. It's something that myself and Dino wanted to do for quite a long time, to be fair, innit?
Yeah, we've talked about this off camera and out of office hours and whatnot.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of other people who work in other supplement stores, they'll tend to stop thinking about supplements when they finish work.
We're turbo nerds.
We're turbo nerds. Yeah, we go home. What did you do today for fun? Well, I looked up this ingredient panel. I researched these compounds. I seen how they promote, why they're in there, what's the clinical dosages, and stuff like this. A lot of people will find boring, but if you just open up my bookmark page, hundreds of studies, hundreds of abstracts, different PDFs I've downloaded from ResearchGate and whatnot, and okay, yes, to most people it is boring, but whereas you've got people who like lick stamps and collect them.
Yeah,
collect
it's
stamps.
Weird, boring, like. But
yeah,
so
train spotting, supplement spotting.
So obviously, like today, it's just going to be kind of the future, the history and future of pre-workouts, really.
Supplements 101.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll be doing pre-workouts, but we'll probably touch base on other categories in the future as well, depending on how well this goes. Okay, so pre-workout wise, what's the first pre-workout you used? Do you remember?
Yeah, the first one I ever tried was I was 17.
Yeah.
So I was 17 years old, and the first pre-workout I ever tried was the original Chemo Rage by Nutrex Research.
Wow.
I was 17, didn't have a clue, and I took it, and it
did
absolutely...
2 scoops. It says
I did
2 scoops right away.
I didn't do 2 scoops. I remember doing like a Mazzy Heap scoop.
Yeah.
And it literally blew my wig across the Pacific. Like I was 17, and I just didn't even know what hit me. I was like, what the hell?
Was that the one with geranium in? DMAA?
Yeah, DMAA, yeah. So obviously, when my knowledge expanded at pre's, you know, it comes back to you and you think, I took that pre-workout, and why did it blow my wig off that much? You go back, look at the formula, and you realise, you're like, oh my god, that DMAA in. Do you know what I mean?
The original one.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was a big dosage as well.
I think it was original prop blend, and then they released non-prop.
Non-prop blend.
And I'm sure, if I'm not wrong, it was 70 milligrams of DMAA, also 1,3-dimethylamine.
Yeah.
Which is obviously, you know, very amphetamine based. kind of send your adrenal glands into overdrive. Do you know what I mean? But
did you get that cold feeling from?
Yeah, it was horrific. It was, but it was bad, but in a good way. But what was your pre anyway? I don't think because he's a few, isn't he? He's not just like.
Oh man, I have tried hundreds over the years. I don't remember my first ever stimulant pre-workout. I do remember my first ever pre-workout, for lack of a better term, and it was Controlled Labs Blue Blood, which was nitric oxide enhancer, and it was a simple formula of arginine, onovaline and ornithine, I think it was.
Yeah.
And Green Bulge, which was creatine magna-power, and a few other things in there.
We talked about that, yeah, creatine.
And it was in pills. Both of them were in tablet form. I think the dosage pre-workout was 6 or 8 tablets. Oh mate, I felt like I was jiggling.
Yeah.
Sat there on the bench, I felt like a rouse shaking.
Yeah, nuts, because like pre-workouts, the thing with pre-workouts, like they go way back. Do you know what I mean? Like people think pre-workouts are kind of new, but to be fair, like the first ever pre-workout come out around the 80s.
82.
Yeah,
Dan
82. Dan Duchesne's Ultimate Orange. Yeah, now that stuff at the time in the 80s was just way ahead of its time, and it was just like there was no law that kind of governed what was in it. Like it used to sit on like shop shelves, do you know what I mean? And like people, it was just there, do you know what I mean? Like it never really got marketed, it wasn't really pushed.
It's still now, I mean, it's nearly 2019.
Yeah.
It's still now classed as the ultimate pre-workout, which is funny because it's classed as the first ever real pre-workout. So it's funny that since then it's set the standard. It
has, like literally, it was a pre-workout that covered kind of every basis. So you had like what we talked about before, that was in the original Nutrex, like 1,3-dimethylamine, which absolutely will blow your wig off. And it had it had ephedrine in there as well, which is like,
a big
and
dosage of
ephedrine is kind of like a step down from amphetamine sulfate, which is, you know, to me and you, that's whiz. Do you know what I mean?
These days, ephedrine, when I first started in the industry, ephedrine wasn't actually banned, but it's now classed as asthmatic medication. The way it works is it opens up your airways. But the way it works, it's kind of hard to describe. But you do feel a buzz, but it's not a nice buzz. It's like a punch. It's like a punch in the face kind of buzz.
Like, yeah.
And I think it had 30 milligrams of active as well.
Yeah, it did. Which is nuts. And you actually got a little bit of carbs in there. You got a bit of arginine in there for pump, even though arginine's pretty useless anyway. But, you know, when you had a few carbs in it, I think it had a little bit of maltodextrin, didn't it? So you get a bit of energy from like all angles kind of thing.
Amino acids. It was more like an all-in-one.
It was. But yeah, it was. It was like the first ever all-in-one.
We gave it with stims.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was nuts. But touching on like ephedrine and stuff. Like ephedrine is what you found in like the original T5s back in the day. Do you know what I mean? Talking like what dosage between 25 30 milligrams.
The original, it was part of the ECA stack basically. The original fat burner back in the day was ephedrine, aspirin, and caffeine. The ephedrine and caffeine work in synergy. 25 to 30 milligrams of ephedrine. Caffeine was always around about 200 milligrams, and aspirin about 8 milligrams. Just enough to thin the blood, makes it transportation a bit easier around the system. But yeah, that was the original ECA stack, which is what was the original T5s, which you won't find anywhere now.
Yeah.
Even though people are putting on labels, this is a T5.
Yeah.
Bollocks.
It's not. Yeah.
Ephedrine's a class drug. You know, it's gel time. No idiot selling T5s in a supplement store is going to put legit ephedrine in it.
Of course.
But yeah, talking about like ephedrine, which is now banned. The other one, dimethyl, DMAA.
Yeah, 1,3-dimethylamine. That you found.
I can never
like,
say that properly.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the next thing that people started putting in pre-workouts.
Yeah.
As in terms of standout stimulants.
Yeah.
So what was the first DMA geranium pre-workouts, do you reckon?
So like obviously at first, like I said just before, we had the Nutrex Research Hemo Rage, the original that had DMAA and a 1,3-dimethylamine. Obviously, you know, the one that was kind of known worldwide was this one here. Don't know if you could see it, but that's the original Jack 3D
The original
formula.
Jack 3D.
Yeah.
This isn't the original, by the way, which is illegal. You can't get the original anywhere. This is the legal version, but yeah, it pales in comparison to the original.
Yeah. And there was a few others as well. So obviously you had Jack 3D, you had Nutrex Research. There was a few others as well.
There was
loads and loads. There was like
there's even now a few brands putting in geranium. Like obviously you've got high-tech pharmaceuticals in the States still fighting with the FDA.
Yeah, is that Gerard? Something like his name is. Yeah, Gerard is fighting to get it kind of legal.
Because he's saying you can actually find it naturally occurring, so in terms of supplementation in the States it should be legal. Yeah. So that's an ongoing battle. You spend God knows how much money fighting it. But in terms of the UK industry, DMAA, as it's also known as geranium, you'll probably see it also known as I never say that properly.
1,3-dimethylamine.
I can never say that properly.
Yeah,
even if I've got it written there as well. I still can't say it properly.
Yeah.
Tongue tied. But yeah, over here it's not legal. So you're taking a pre-workout with them in. Yeah. Naughty, yeah.
But obviously with 1,3-dimethylamine, obviously when that was in pre-workouts, that was kind of classed as like. It was kind of like supplement companies were in a race with each other to see how close to smoking crack you could get.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's how bad it was getting.
But obviously, off the cake.
Now, they've kind of toned it down. 1,3-dimethylamine's been removed, and it actually has a successor now, which a lot of people are aware of, which is DMHA.
Yeah.
Now, DMHA, you can get it synthetically, and you can get it naturally as well. The more synthetic form is 2-aminoisoheptane.
Yeah.
But the more natural form is Juglans regnier or walnut bark extract.
Yeah. The full nomenclature is 2-amino-5 methylheptane for the natural. Now the natural one is about 25% more potent. The dosage is about 75 milligrams. And then you've got 2-amino-6 methylheptane, which is the synthetic version, which is a lot cheaper, and the one you'll probably see in supplement use these days. Dosage on that tends to be about
200 milligrams, isn't it?
160 to 200 milligrams.
Because with DMHA, with like 1,3-dimethylamine, if you compare them, like 1,3-dimethylamine, there was only kind of really one form. You had like dendrobium, am I pronouncing that correctly?
Dendrobium.
Dendrobium, which is like the natural.
The Dendrobium novel, which is the name of the plant it was extracted from.
Yeah. Same with like DMHA with Juglans regnia. Yeah. But obviously with DMHA, there's about 6 different types of them, correct? You've got octadrine, 2-aminoheptane, 2-amino-4-heptane, 2-amino-5-heptane,
yeah, there's different analogues. I mean, talking about that, the dendrobium, one of the original pre-workouts that sort of made pre-workouts mainstream was Driven Sports craze. Designer supplements craze is the one known back in the day. And their original panel, they claim to have concentration of different alkaloid content from dendrobium, not only the DMAA, but they also have beta-phenylethylamine, N-dimethyl, N-diethyl. So basically, I mean, if you go online, type in the original Driven Sports craze panel, you'll come across it. But obviously they ran into trouble again with the FDA. Same reason why Jad Reed's taken to court. Because the FDA was claiming that a lot of the analogues circulated here aren't naturally found in the plant itself. So it's like, that's why that got banned.
Because obviously with the pre-workouts and stuff, like obviously when you had the 1,3-dimethylamine era, every pre-workout was booming all in competition, and then 1,3-dimethylamine kind of fizzled out. Do you reckon like the pre-workout kind of category quieted for a bit? It kind of like feel like no one knew what to do. Until...
but that's exactly right. The reason being is like back in the day when you wanted to make a good pre-workout, a supplement company would just go, right, let's just put in some heavy stims. And that was it. There was no thought process behind different actions, different synergy. And then in terms of one of the first pre-workouts that came out that actually started thinking outside the box and not only included stimulants in, but also other things that increase actual performance in the original dedicated Unstoppable.
And here's the formula. You might be able to see it. This kind of, obviously, like I said, once 1,3-dimethylamine phased out, pre-workouts kind of went quiet, and then dedicated nutrition just literally stomped on the market with this beast.
Pass me that dedicated tub on the shelf.
Oh yeah, we actually have the original formula of dedicated here. Let's see it. Open it. Shall we open it?
It's probably rock hard. It is a big rock. It's not like, even usable.
It's like
anymore.
Finely aged wine. Look at the state of that. But it's nutrition. Obviously, like we're supplement nerds, so we keep things like this because it's
nostalgia.
Yeah, it is.
And this is kind of what made us at tnutrition kind of really pick, because we were the first guys in the UK to pick up the brand. And like, Trev looked at the formula and thought, wow. Yeah,
it was a sick formula. Like it had ingredients that, to be fair, you're probably not gonna see again. Like we were talking just earlier, wasn't we, about NCG? NCG.
N-carbonyl glutamate.
NCG was one. It was a very, very strong vasodilator, so it massively helped with blood flow. It massively helped with increasing arginine levels in the blood, so you can get a pump via nitric oxide. And it was extremely effective at doing it.
The way it works is it makes the endothelial walls in your cell lining release more NOS, eNOS, endothelial nitric oxide synthase.
People actually refer to the pump.
It prolongs your pump.
Didn't people actually used to refer to the pump as like a gear pump? Do you know what I mean?
because
as like a growth pump.
There'd be guys like even if you go on YouTube right now that are taking performance enhancement drugs, and they'll compare it to NCG, and that skin bursting, tight feeling, blood flowing, rip your cacks off and throw the gym. That kind of.
It was like what was the product? Because the first time I ever seen NCG, or the first time that it was kind of popped onto the industry, was actually through BSN. BSN, obviously, BSN, the ones who made like Synth 6, No Explode. I think their product, if I remember correctly, was called NCGR, and I think it was in oral form. It's like a tablet.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that stuff, like, it was just I forget the actual dosage of NCG because we're talking years ago. But it was something ridiculous, and it was like, It was only on the market for X amount of time until it kind of, they phased it out, like, because the pumps were, like,
yeah, it's like I read here with Ronnie Coleman. Back in the day.
Nuts, yeah, NCGR. But, like, even, it's not just, obviously, what you know, the original dedicated wasn't just pump, it was obviously stim as well. It did have a lot of pump aids alongside NCG, like glycerol monostarate, it had trimethylglycine nitrate, things like that. But it kind of introduced a new type of stimulant. Well, at the time that was new, and that was obviously AMP citrate. You know what I mean? But what's your opinion on AMP citrate? Did you like it?
See, I'm kind of torn because I react weird. Like the original DMAA, the first time I ever used that was with I-Force Dexaprine, which was a fat burner.
Yeah.
And I bought it because people were raving about it on the forums, online, in stores. This is amazing. You feel absolutely power. Yeah. You're like, you've got unlimited energy, and then, okay, buy one. Yeah. Bought one, took the dosage, got to the gym. An hour. This happened every time, and I went through half the bottle before I ended up giving up in the end. But an hour after I would take my dosage of Dexaprine, I'd want to sleep.
Did you have like a massive crash?
I'd be lying down on the fence like this. I would have gone to coma in a minute.
Because obviously people react different to obviously different stimulants.
Yeah, but I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if it was whether my body was metabolizing it too fast and I was crashing sooner than other people, or I just sleep. But in terms of the geranium, that's how I reacted to that.
Because that was like the goal with AMP citrate. Because obviously when AMP citrate burst onto the market, AMP citrate was like the new kind of DMAA. Do you know what I mean? The new 1,3-dimethylamine, because it was proven to mimic it.
I thought it was better than geranium. It didn't give me that comatose feeling.
Yeah, it was kind of like the clean. It was kind of like it give you, where like taking 1,3-dimethylamine, you just get this massive surge of energy. You know, you can just tell your adrenal glands are firing. You know, pumping out all the adrenaline. But AMP citrate, you kind of didn't get that, did you? You got like the kind of psychoactive. You got like a good psychoactive stim.
You got like an increased focus
stim, but you didn't feel like you wanted to rip your own face off. Do you know what I mean?
When I first started working here, we had loads of samples of this.
Yeah. I think we have some, you know, still lying around somewhere.
Probably look like the inside of that container. But I had we had some samples of that, and Trey gave me one to try, and I didn't realise it was 2 servings, as most people don't. Yeah. When you get a sample, you just think, you just whack it in. I just whacked it in. Went to the train, nice little session. No increase in energy or anything like that. And I come in the next day, it's like, did you take that serving? Yeah. Did you take half the serving? I mean, half the sachet, which is a serving. Or what? No.
Because you're not going to get the sachet and just like fold it and put it away
from it up and get one of them lead bin clippers that you freaking...
Yeah.
But I mean, and then people were like, how on earth did you tolerate 2 scoops? But like, I don't know. I must be quite heavy with stimulants. But then again, some pre-workouts will have a different effect on me. Like, geranium doesn't do much for me, makes me sleepy. AMP citrate, 2 servings, nice bit of energy, nice focus, nice.
Because what was that giving you? You must have had about 800 milligrams of AMP citrate. Because I'm sure 1 scoop was 400, what I remember.
Yeah, 400 per serving.
800 milligrams of AMP citrate. I'm surprised you didn't have a fat heart attack.
Yeah. 175 caffeine as well. Yeah. So what was that, 250?
But like, what do you think? Obviously, moving on to kind of now, like pre-workout category at tnutrition. Do you know what I mean?
It's phenomenal. Like,
it's probably it's our best-selling category, isn't it?
Definitely. And 100%. Like, it's amazing to think of the variety that we now stock as well. I mean, when you look at other products and other brands, put it this way, when you come into your nutrition and you're after energy fuel and you're after Kinetica or Bodytronics, or that new one, that PhD's Lilies.
Oh mate, that pre is shocking.
Okay, we only carry brands if we believe in them, if we believe in certain SKUs. And sometimes when a brand that we believe in will bring out a new product, we'll give it a test, we'll see if it's worth it, because sometimes what's on the label might perform better in real world. So yeah, we have our opposite behind the camera right now. There's a shelf full of products that we don't carry. These are products that people have sent to us to test out, to see, to pass the nutrition quality test. Basically, course, if it works, we'll stock it. If it doesn't, well, that's why you won't see Kinetica or other brands.
Other brands that they just strive. Like here at tnutrition, we're not margin heads, do you know what I mean? We don't see a product and go, right, okay, there's great margin on that, but the formula's crap and we'll sell it and lie and make out it to be something it's not. We don't. We only stock good products that people want and that we know works. Yes, there's going to be products on our shelves that won't work for everyone. Someone might pick up a product and think that's absolutely terrible. But for other individuals, it won't be. Does that make sense? Yeah. So obviously, it like Dino said, if we get a product in, it needs to pass our approval first. It's
hard to, like, when you've got products like Devastate, and you've got Loco, and then you've got things that are like premium ingredients, basic ingredients, basic formulation, but they get the job done, such as Ghost Legend, and then you've got like advanced science looking behind the synergy, the effects of different compounds and how they work together between. You know, you've got varieties as well. You can try the original Devastate Crimson if you want to be off your face with stims, but still get a great pump. You still get that nitric oxide boosting effects. Or you want something a bit more, maybe nootropic based, a bit more cleverly upgraded. And you got the new Devastate. And then you've got other things a bit more nootropic based, such as the Man Sports Blockbuster. Or the one that's on offer right now, the Mega Pre Black. I mean, there's ingredients in there that years ago you wouldn't have ever seen in supplements, just because the price bracket. But that's the thing. That's the good thing about when stimulants get banned, whether it be citrate, whether it be geranium. It's forcing the brand to think outside the box
and kind of think of an alternative that's going to be as effective. But when it comes to pre-workouts, obviously what times it will be finishing up soon. Pre-workouts are subjective, do you know what I mean? So for example, one individual, like let's say individual A might try a pre-workout and think it was shocking, didn't do nothing. But then individual B might try the same pre-workout and they find it amazing. So what a lot of people need to understand is, like, you know, pre-workouts are very subjective.
How many scoops of this do you do?
See, I only do less than one, like just a little bit less than one, and that's perfect.
Okay, less than one scoop for Kayne. Perfect example. I've got to do 2 scoops of this.
2 scoops. That's giving you what?
800
milligrams of caffeine. You're getting probably, I'd say, because it's obviously a prop blend, you're getting like, I'd say around about 400 milligrams of DMHA. Do you know what I mean?
And I train about 9 o'clock, and I can take this and then go to bed like 11, 12 o'clock. So yeah.
Nuts. Do you reckon we wrap it up then?
Yeah, okay, wrapping it up.
So obviously, guys, if you like today's video, you know, and you want to see more of kind of the history of specific ingredients, products, and so on,
give us a like, leave us a comment. What's the next category you guys want to reach? Some more information
I was thinking of maybe talking more about pump aid products and their ingredients.
Stim-free pre-workouts?
Yeah, stim-frees, mate, yeah. But awesome. Guys, let us know what you think. And like Dino said, give us a like, comment, and if you have any questions about today regarding anything that we've touched on, or any pre-workouts that you see, or just any questions in general, feel free to, you know, message us on social media, whether that be Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. But guys, thank you very much.
Thanks for joining us, and have a good day.